get to the Ginyu Force. We'll get to the Ginyu Force in a second. But what I want to start off with is I thought it was going to be Momo, Ida, and Okaden versus Evil Eye Gigi in this episode. That's what I thought. But then we get this. And as you can see here, right? As you can see here, the grandma dodges the kick, right? You can see Okaden gets hit. Ida up here, she kicks Evil Eye. He blocks it. Her hair has his other arm tied up. And you see Momo in the background ready to grab him or block him of some sort. So the only person that gets hit here is Okaden. Like, he's the only one that gets hit. And that goes to show you I was going to say the fast reaction from everyone else, but also the fast reaction from Okaden, because he is in his transformed, or he looks like he was, at least his mask was transformed. So he looked like he either was about to transform or he did partially transform a little bit when that happened. So he kind of does have some kind of like reflex in that sense, but you see the grandma dodged, and Ida, she's in there, right? Grabbed his arm, kicked him. She's twisting his arm too. If you look carefully, she's twisting it as well. But he does indeed block her kick. Okaden does indeed get hit here. Now, again, the quick reflexes of everybody here was impressive, right? Didn't expect it to go this way. Okaden, I'm not surprised he got hit here, right? I'm not surprised he got hit, but it looks like, because you can see his mask breaking or something like that. So he did partially transform here. So, but everyone else didn't take damage here. So I just want to point that out. I just want to point that out, right? Because I'm going to showcase something else later. But the Ginyu Force shows up. Okay, that's what they reminded me of here, this pose. Right? I mean, that's what it reminds me of. Obviously, it's not the Ginyu Force, okay? Come on. It's not the real Ginyu Force. But that's what this pose reminded me of. Now, when we saw them, and they are the exorcists that's supposed to come and help exorcise Evil Eye from Gigi, right? They were a bit nonchalant. You know, I didn't know what to expect. But then we get this. Like, and if you actually watch this, look at this. They were rocking out. They were rocking out, and it sounded good. All the spirits came by, had a mosh pit and everything. They were rocking out. So I didn't expect that from them, but it did sound good. Now, what happens? Do they actually exorcise Evil Eye from Gigi? No. Okay. Gigi, being the kind of character that he is, doesn't want Evil Eye to die. All Evil Eye wants to do is play with someone, and Gigi promised he'd play with him, right? So he didn't get exorcised here, which I'm not surprised, seeing as that whole group has some kind of powers, right? And if Evil Eye dies, then Gigi won't have any, although he does have a high amount of spiritual energy, right? So I guess they could tap into that later, but I'm not surprised Evil Eye didn't get killed here, right? I'm not surprised, because if he's able to control him, he would be pretty powerful. Now, Okaden came out and said that, you know, he's going to get stronger to help keep Evil Eye in check, right? They all came to that consensus once Okaden stepped forward. Obviously, Ida likes Okaden, and so does Momo, right? But Momo's not as noticeable as Ida liking Okaden, right? She's not as noticeable as in that regard. But So they're all going to get stronger to, you know, keep Evil Eye in check, to help Gigi. Okay. And Gigi's also undergoing some training, so he may be able to keep Evil Eye in check himself. Okay, which would be ideal for everyone. If I had to guess, that would be ideal for everyone, because don't nobody want to be babysitting nobody, right? So this is just Evil Eye. This is just Gigi wanting Evil Eye to not get killed, right? So, and like I said, they rocking out. They listen. They rocking out, and this is when the grandma said, "Okay, we're not gonna kill him. He's gonna join the family." All right. So Evil Eye's there. He's still inside of Gigi. So we'll see if he can keep him in check. I'd imagine he will be able to, but maybe some slip ups here and there. We'll have to see how that goes. Now, you remember how Okaden was the only one that got hit earlier? Then he gets hit again. Now, Now, Evil Eye may have something against him specifically because they fought, and Okaden, you know, at the end kind of put the hurting on him, right? So Evil Eye may have something against him, you know, already, right? So he's just going after him. You know what I'm saying? So it rained, a drop fell onto Gigi, boom, Okaden flying through the sky, right? Hitting the house. Right, it is what it is. Again, Evil Eye may have something against him specifically because they did fight, and technically Evil Eye lost. Okay, technically Evil Eye did lose. Now, you could also say Okaden was the one to get hit because he was the closest to him when he transformed. That could also be the case as well. But again, catching strays. You just catching strays this whole episode, right? He's the only one that took damage from Evil Eye. But Momo gets a job. Okay, Momo gets a job, and because she wants to help pay, you know, to rebuild the house. Then we get like this shot here, which I thought this shot was funny because this is just like everyday life, and you see these two girls over here sleeping. One's drooling, the other one's asleep, and Momo's friends are taking Okaden to the maid cafe where she now works. And that's where the episode ends. So it was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this episode. It didn't go how I thought it was going to go. I thought they were going to be fighting, but we got a little rock and roll concert here. So I give it an 8. I enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Okaden catching strays, right? He's the only one who took damage here from Evil Eye. And I suspect that's not going to change, right? I suspect that's not going to change. But Momo in the maid outfit, right? Which I know some of you like, all right? I do know some of you like that. And what do you think is going to happen with Evil Eye still inside of Gigi, right? Do you think that... I ultimately think that Gigi is ultimately going to suppress him himself, or because maybe they become friends and then Evil Eye doesn't even want to hurt or kill the humans anymore. I doubt it, but we'll see. But I ultimately think that Gigi is going to be able to suppress him himself, is what I think. But again, I'd be curious to see what you guys think in the comment section below. That's all I have for this one. Keep on keeping on.